Salud mi gente, your boys coming through once again. Before we continue with this video, do not forget to hit the like, subscribe to the channel. For those who've been showing love and support, I do highly appreciate every single one of you guys. Man, CDCR has that in again. Another unaliving in the system of California prison system, right? This time it took place in Calipatria, Calipat prison, which is one of the most dangerous prison in California for sure. No, for sure. At least it's gonna be in the top 5. My opinion. If you want to push it, maybe in the top 4. Maybe in the top 4 if you want to push it, honestly. And man, it is crazy because it seems, first of all, man, we have to understand one thing. The California prison system is going to be one, if not the most ruthless prison system in the United States of America. Simple as that. Well, how can you come with that conclusion? Well, look at the numbers, man. Pay attention. Who are the guys who are playing in that spot? Who are they? Numbers don't lie, man. Better ask. And man, it is sad. First of all, our condolences to the family. You have to understand that these people who are being involved, what happened, but they have families. You have to always think about them, like, damn, what the family's going through. You have to always have that in mind, because the story sometimes just shows you the little picture, the event, but who was impacted by that event? Who got impacted by that? Maybe a daughter, maybe a niece, maybe a brother or sister, the mom. You have to understand about that, man. Just saying. So let's go to this report. According to the police report, or the CO report, on November, or the 115, right? On November 10, 2025, around 10:20 a.m. out there in the yard, right? You have all the inmates going out. Ain't nobody gonna refuse. They need every single number, right? They're not gonna refuse. They're out there working out, doing their push-ups, doing the pull-up bar, walking the track, maybe running, whatever the case might be. You got people keeping a point, doing postes, doing all of that stuff, That is a prison yard right there, right? You have, what's the dress code? Most likely very long pro club shorts. When I'm talking about very long, almost hitting your ankles. It seems like the longer those shorts are, the better. The more respect you get. And with the tank top, what's handed? Let's do this, right? Let's do that. Unless when you see somebody walking out with their blues, you already know they're going to put in some work. I'm sorry, but you see those boots and those blues, oh, this guy's going to put in some work. You have to pay attention, man. And then all of a sudden, man, as everybody's enjoying a beautiful day in Calipatria, desert, nothing but desert, close to my home, right? The temperature is going to be like 92 degrees around this time of the year. 92, right? The cops seen 2 inmates, one by the name of Eric Gonzalez, who is 26 years old, and the other one by the name of Javier Torres, who is 27, getting off and attacking Inmate Mercado, who was 31 years old. Yes, he was, right? So as the COs seen this thing going on, of course they're gonna give him, hey, you know what? Give him like 5 more seconds, man, 10 more seconds, because I didn't even like that inmate right there. He was a asshole. Well, no, not an asshole. What's an asshole? Asshole. That's how he was. And they let it be, right? Once those 10 seconds are done, hey man, get the fuck down, motherfuckers. Boom, get down. Everybody's getting down. At the same time, for those who are not paying attention, they're hesitating because they don't know where that thing is popping, So it's like they're getting down slowly, looking around and stuff. Oh, once they lock their eyes on the incident, boom, they get down. Okay, it's not around me, right? Okay. Of course, they start throwing grenades, hitting them with the Big Berta, because they're not going to use the Mini 14. You know what? That's one big mistake that CDCR is doing. It's a big mistake. Not using the Mini 14. Why? Because whenever you put in some work, we're involved in something, in the back of the head is like, who's on today's day, who's going to be in bad luck? the guy who's gonna be victimized or the victimizers. Because if they use that mini 14, hit you on the head, man, you're done. You're done. You know. So that was something that was always in the back of the mind of those guys who were involved in stuff, or they were gonna get involved in some kind of issue, right? Honestly, it sucks. It sucks. So once the SEALs goes over there, they took control of the situation, right? They handcuff everybody except the victim who's laying down right there. They do the chest compressions. The two attackers took them to the program office, waiting to get sent to ADSEC, pending investigation. As for the inmate who got attacked, eventually, after being sent to an outside hospital, he was pronounced unalive 26 minutes later. 26 minutes later, meaning that most likely he was unalive already on the yard. Honestly, right? Somebody has to go over there and declare him unalive. That's what it is, They have to call somebody at home if they're not right there. Hey, man, can you come on over here and do this real quick? Thank you very much. So that's what it is, man. You're not going to believe this, right? So the victim, Marco Story 1, he came from LA County in September 2022, right? 2022. He only had 3 years in the system. Damn. Barely 3 years in the system. He got sentenced to 13 years. 13 years, man, for second degree unalive and a gun enhancement. This guy got some love. Honestly, if you ask me, this guy got a lot of love. Maybe he didn't hit nobody. Maybe he just shot with I think he had a machine gun. Maybe he shot like towards a person, didn't hit nothing. He hit the whole house or hit whatever, but he didn't hit his target. I think maybe that's why he got 13 years, which is nothing, man. For that type of stuff, is nothing, honestly, right? And he's no longer with us. That's it, man. I don't know what he did. He burned somebody. He messed up in a big way, I don't think this has to do with anything with paperwork, man. He's been in the system already for at least for what, like 3 years, man. They would have caught that already. Honestly, if they're doing their job, they would have caught that already. Now, as for the aggressor, especially, I'm interested in one aggressor from Kern County, right? But we're gonna go and put that guy to the end. So we have Eric Gonzalez, 26, from LA County. He came into the system on May 2023. 2 years in the system. This guy was a lifer because he was involved in a 187, right? Lifer, just your typical lifer. He wants to. This is one thing about the lifer. I'm just gonna put it this way, man, because a lot of people want to brag and say, "Oh man, I was doing this." Man, look, man. If you're a lifer, you don't got anything to lose, homie. If you're a lifer, man, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. You're gonna go up in ranks. Simple as that. Simple as that, man. Simple as that. It's crazy how you have individuals coming out and say, "Ah, man, I was doing this." You were doing that because you're a lifer, homie. You didn't have no hope. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. A lot of lifers in the system don't have no hope. They're like, "Man, I'm gonna be right here for 25 years, whatever." Like, man, at least nowadays they're giving a little better hope. But once they find themselves involved in this, trust me, that guy, Eric Gonzalez, this is not gonna be the first time you're gonna hear about him. He's gonna do one and later on. He's gonna do another one later on. He's a lifer. He just lost any type of chance of going home ever. Simple as that, man. I'm just saying. Now, when it comes down to the next attacker, the second one, Javier Torres, 27 years old, came from Kern County in May of 2024. He only had 1 year in the system. What I'm seeing right now is that these guys are nothing but people who just came into the system. I wonder what happened with the guys who've been in that prison the longest. They're not putting in work. It's just people that just coming in are the guys who are actually putting in work. I don't know, man. Especially for this guy who only had 1 year in the system. 1 year in the system with 6 years. He got, first of all, he did a parole violation, went in with another case. I believe it was carjacking. And he was a second striker. Got sentenced to 6 years, bro. 6 years. Second striker, meaning he's going to get life. He's going to get life. He just gave his life to the system. That is some crazy ass things right there. Come on, man. Who, for reals, man, you mean to tell me that you want to spend the rest of your life in behind those walls because of that validation, man, that the homies give you? You want people to talk about you, your name, and then eventually something's going to happen. Something's going to happen in where, oh, man, they did me wrong, or something's going to happen, right? It's a very small percentage that actually make it to the next stage. I'm just saying, right? But this guy just dedicated his whole life to the system. He only had 6 years, man. 6 years. Not no more. This guy's gonna be a lifer. This is the type of individuals, man, that I do wonder, man, what was going on through his head, man. I do understand. I do understand the peer pressure. I do understand the acceptance. I do understand that how you can give your life to this belief, right? And people are entitled to have that belief, you know? That's their life. Do it. Do your thing. Handle it, right? But it's crazy because you just have to think about one thing. You only have one life. Only have one life. You choose to spend the rest of your life as a human being inside a cage. Inside a cage like an animal. That's what I can't get over that. You only want one life. You can do whatever you want in life. But sure enough, you want to spend that life in a cage. For me, it does not make sense. Maybe for you, but for me, no. You know, that's crazy. That's sad. He was another victim, honestly. And the fucked up thing is that he hasn't even realized it. He hasn't even realized it. Watch. Once that 20 hits, he's going to be like, damn, crazy. But this is California for you guys, man. Hopefully you like this story, man. Southsiders putting it down. Or Sureños putting it down. That's what it is. With this being said, we are out to next video. Saludos a todos. Al ratos.